From the outset of my speech today, I want to thank the members who have brought this motion to the House and state that I am in full support of a ban on the dangerous practices of conversion therapy in Northern Ireland. My party believes discrimination against someone on the basis of their sexual orientation is wrong. We are all created equal and should be treated as such. No one should ever be forced into treatment for being gay. I share the grave concerns of many members of this Assembly on the varied abhorrent practices that have been promoted under the umbrella of conversion therapy in the past and those which still sadly exist today. These have included electroconvulsive therapy, forced isolation, aversion therapy, food deprivation, hormone therapy and hypnotherapy. These and some of the other forms of so-called conversion therapy should never be allowed to harm our loved ones, our friends, our neighbours ever again. As a party, we are firmly opposed to these forms of coercion and manipulation because they do not respect human dignity. As a result, we are supportive of an appropriate response to prohibiting unsafe and coercive practices, including through legislation. However, we are concerned with the absence of any clear or evidence-based definition of conversion therapy contained anywhere within the motion. There is a risk that such ambiguity, if translated into legislation, would criminalise legitimate activities or conversations. We simply want to avoid unintended and unjustified consequences. Therefore, we need to nail down actually what activities we are seeking to deal with, not just as safeguard activities which cannot be reasonably deemed to be harmful or coercive, but to actually give the best protection to our LGBT community. Some members disagree with our amendment because they want the ban to cover religious settings. Others object because they don't feel the motion would cover religious settings in the first place. This highlights the ambiguity which exists without clear definition. The motion as drafted does not account for a complex legal landscape of competing rights, including freedom of religion and freedom of speech. It was for these very reasons that legislation in Germany was restricted to treatments in healthcare settings and for minors. That is why our amendment encourages the Minister to consult widely with affected stakeholders on plans for legislation. We want legislation to be ambitious and effective, but that can't happen with unclear and sweeping definitions of conversion therapy. It is also important that we consider other dangerous, unregulated and unqualified pseudoscientific forms of treatment, counselling and healthcare for all manner of things, many of which have no foundation in any religious beliefs. Mr. Speaker, let me be clear. I do not believe that members of our LGBT community should be fixed or cured. I might not agree, but I recognise that there are those with deeply held religious beliefs on the issue of sexuality who have differing opinions on how someone should live their life. The DUP wants to see progress on the issue of banning conversion therapy. Those appalling practices which still pervade our society today must be defined and made illegal if they aren't already. We are committed to not just any legislation to ban conversion therapy, but the best legislation which is fair and evidence-based. We ask the members of the House to support the amendment. Mr. Speaker, good law is clear law. Effective law is law with clearly defined scope. Thank you.